Welcome back to another session on functions or methods. So we can define a function using def keyword, and after def keyword we can give the function name. Here I have used simple function, and then I have taken three variables. These are called as formal parameters or formal arguments. This is a formal argument method, a simple method, and then printing the variables. That's it. When we define a function or declare a function, nothing happens. When you call the function, that's when the action happens, right? So I have called the method or function saying simple method, and then passed values 6, abc, and xyz. So this is when it actually passed 6 to var1, abc to var2, and xyz to var3, and it printed. So if you don't pass a value, if there are in this simple function, simple method, we have three formal parameters. If you forget to pass one value, it will throw error saying that missing one required parameter, a positional argument var3. That means a value you forgot to pass. So definitely you need to pass the number of values for which the number of variables you have declared in the method signature. We call this as signature. Okay, so this is simple method. There are variable length argument lists also, argument variable length argument methods also. So you can here we are defining another function with star args as the method name, and then I have added a star before the variable name. That means it will take n number of values. Here in the simple method we have three variables. You need to definitely pass three values, but here if you say star vals, you can pass one value or 10 values or n number of values. So let us try to see what happens here. To declare the function, I need to execute this. Okay, so I'm going to comment this type for some time, and then I'm executing it, and then I'm going to take this list also here and execute. See, it took 10 values. If I pass no one value, it will execute. If I pass zero values also, it will execute, right? So variable length arguments method will take zero arguments or n number of arguments, it doesn't matter. You can pass compound data types also into the method as a value. When you declare a method with star vals, right, it will actually take all those whatever n number of values you pass, it will take it. So this is called as variable length argument, variable length parameters method with variable length parameters. And then there is default argument methods also. While declaring the method, if you specify the value of the variable, here n is the variable, and then you have declared the argument name is n, and the argument has got a default value 100. Even when you call the method without passing any value, it will take the 100 as the default value. If you pass a value, it will take it. So n is equal to 100, and then we are printing, this is the method to generate Fibonacci series. So here I called it, so it took 100 as the default value and generated 89. The Fibonacci number still 89. If I pass 500 here, it will ignore 100 and then generate number still 500. The Fibonacci number still 500. So that is a default argument method, a default parameter method. Default parameter value will be taken when the value is not passed while calling the method. So this is invocation or calling, we call it as. This is definition or declaration. This is called as invocation or calling. Okay. So while declaration or definition, nothing happens. While invocation, the actual code in the method gets executed. The one more thing is the method started with a colon, and the indentation specifies that all these statements belong to this particular method, and return statement returns the result. Whatever the here result is a list, and we are generating the Fibonacci numbers and appending them to the list, and then returning that list as the result. You can pass multiple values as return in Python. So multiple assignments it supports, and multiple returns or multiple value returns also it supports in Python functions. So that's about the default argument functions, default parameter functions. There is another kind of functions there. Keyword variable length argument parameters. If you put double star before the variable name, the argument name, it actually takes the key value pair as input. If you see this here, the shopkeeper is John, client is Mark, and cheese type is fresh cheese. So I am passing key value pair, key is equal to value, key is equal to value, like that to the method. So the key kw args is the method name, and inside it, in a for loop, I am trying to see what is there in the keyword. The keywords, when you pass the key value pairs, the star star keywords takes it as a dictionary. So in a dictionary, you need to pass the key to the dictionary to extract the value. So let me execute this and this. You see that? So I have extract keywords actually returned the kw value, and I passed the kw to the. So let me print it here. Keywords. See that? It actually took the keywords as a dictionary. So when you say keywords are keywords dot items are values, items will be keys, right? Sorry, the keys will be keys, and items will be the key value pairs. So you can do all that. If you have a good hold on dictionary, you can understand what I'm actually talking about here. So the one more important thing is that you should definitely maintain the order when you are declaring a method with the formal parameters and multiple the variable argument parameters and keyword parameters. They should be in this order only. The formal parameter should be the first one, the variable argument parameter should be second one, the keyword argument parameters variable should be third one. If you change the order, it will throw error, the Python will throw error. So in this, right, I am trying to do some activity here. So when I execute this method, it is actually asking, do you have any cheese? We do have fresh cheese. Good cheese is sold here. That's what is actually written. The method is actually saying. And the shopkeeper is John, client is Mark, and cheese type is fresh cheese. So if you want to do this kind of an activity, you can, this cheese value is assigned to the kind. The rest next two, the fresh cheese and good cheese is sold here, is assigned to arguments, and the rest of the key value pairs have been assigned to keywords. The star star, keywords argument. I hope you understood, and try to play with this and come back with questions if you have. So that's about the user-defined functions. There are pre-built functions in Python. If you look at this documentation by Python, you can understand all the functions present in the Python. So I'll touch upon some of the functions here to explain how to use and see what the usefulness of those functions. You can experiment with these functions. So when you click on this, right, you will see the description and usage and all the stuff. So let me experimentally show you some methods. Range method we already seen. Range 0, 10 or 10 will give you same thing. And you can iterate through the range object using for. Or enumerate method. If you have a list of values and you wanted to see key value pairs or the index and the value you wanted to print, you can enumerate the list and then print. So I formatted it. There is another important method, zip. Zip actually tries to zip through the tuples or the data structures we have passed. It can be tuples, it can be lists you can pass, and then zip through. What is zipping through? Here I have taken 3 employees data. Employee 1, Ajay, name, salary, and date of joining. Name, salary, and date of joining of 3 employees. I wanted to have all the employees in a tuple, all the salaries in a tuple, and all the joining dates in a tuple. If you want to do that, you need to use zip method and then pass the tuples or lists or whatever, and the outcome is going to be a tuple. Okay, so when I executed, if you convert, let us try to see if this works with lists. So employee 1 is one list, employee 2 is another list, and then employee 3 is another list. Right, let's try to execute this and see what happens. See that even with lists it worked. All the compound data types you can use and then zip and combine. So generally when you zip three, whatever the data structure, whether the lists are tuples, the outcome is going to be list of tuples. If you see this, I zipped employee 1, employee 2 and employee 3. The ZP is the object and I am trying to, sorry, I have actually converted that zip object. Actually, the object is actually a zip object. If you see this, right? If you try to look at the type of the object, give you zip. But if you want to access it and play with it, you can actually convert it into list and then play also. So list is a constructor which actually takes a zip object and converts it into a list. So like that you can convert. That's about zip method, or some of the important methods we are going to use in the course, and other methods also we are going to use. Just have a look at this documentation and try to play with them. Okay. And the next thing is lambda functions. I don't know whether you heard about the functional programming. In functional programming, to a function you can pass a function as parameter. Okay. So lambda functions is a simple example of that functional programming. So let us take a fruits cals dictionary. Apple 95 calories, orange 2 calories, mango 202 calories. Okay. I wanted to sort the data in descending order. If I use the sorted method which is present in Python, see this, the sorted method. This method is provided by Python, and if I want to use sorted method and sort the data, it is going to sort on the keys, not on the values. If you see, really the values are important. You wanted to see which fruit has got more calories, right? You wanted to have the highest caloried fruit name as the outcome of, as the first outcome of the result of the executed statements result. But when you use a sorted, right, it is actually sorting on the keys, not on the values. So to actually sort the values on keys, you need to specify to the sorted method that you have to use the key, the value as the key, not the key as the key. Getting it, I think. The sorted method has got a parameter called key. By default, the sorted method is taking the dictionary's key as the key. But we need to specify or make sorted method understand that the key is the value of the dictionary, not the key. To make that, we may have to write a function like this, right? And then we may have to actually use a lambda function like this. In sorted, I have passed the fruits and cals, the dictionary, and then key is equal to, I have called a lambda function and then said x, and then colon, I have called a method fun1. The fun1 is what is it doing? It is taking x and returning x of 1. The value at index 1 it is returning. Okay. So in the key, if I say lambda, what happens is the fruits method, the fruit cals dictionary's first item will be taken. What are the items present in the fruit cals? The items present in fruit cals is apple 95, one tuple, orange 2, another tuple, mango 202, another tuple. In these tuples, the index 0 is apple, index 1 is 95. Index 0 for the second tuple is orange, the value, the index 1 is 2. The index 3, the third tuple's index 0 is mango and the index 1 is 202. We have to specify the sorted method that key is 95, 2 and 202. Then it will actually sort based on the values. To do that, what I am doing is I have defined a small function here which actually returns me the value rather than the key. So that value I am passing as value to the key. So in sorted, when I actually use lambda function, first x gets apple and 95, we pass it, and x of 1, 95 is returned, key is equal to 95, and then it takes orange and 2, it goes back and returns 2, and mango and 202, it goes back and returns 202. And it took, the key actually took 95, 2 and 202. Now the sorting happened based on the values. So mango is the highest caloried fruit compared to apple and orange. So you can actually do the same thing with lambda function directly like this, right? Instead of writing a function, you can actually directly say after colon, this is actually kind of function, right? Lambda x colon is the function and returning x of 1. So we will use lambda functions, in one or two places in our course. There I'll try to explain the lambda function again. Don't get confused, right? So try to practice a little more and see, uh, how it makes sense. Thank you.